What is up, Lock Talk family? It's your boy Jason, and I'm back for another YouTube video breakdown. But before I go off, if you could, please hit that like button, leave a comment. You always have a free chance to win a free daily card with us. And hey, of course, hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. You never want to miss one of these picks. We're here to talk about an MLB game, particularly a game I know most people will be focusing on. We have a smaller slate. Today is June 10th. And let's get to it, man. We got the Yankees versus the Kansas City Royals. And hey, man, my Yanks, I'm from New York. If you guys know me from Instagram or wherever, I always support the Yankees. And we had a pretty good series against the Dodgers. No Juan Soto. And they did what they had to do. So let's get straight to it, man. I really want to talk about these games today. Hopefully you've been liking the format. Hopefully you've been liking the content. And if you have been, man, again, you can always win a chance to get, well, not win, but you can get a chance to get a free week in premium with us. Just go to that pinned comment section or the description down below. You always have a chance to do it, man. So again, guys, let's get straight into it. I'm going to reduce my image here. And, once I get more familiar with this software I've been using, the content's going to continue to get better and better. So let me just reduce myself a little bit over here. And then we're going to look at the Kansas City Royals against the New York Yankees, man. And let's get to it. So New York Yankees minus 126 favorites. They're on the road. They're going against these Kansas City Royals who are at home. And just to give you a short breakdown, Yankees, they just played Sunday Night Baseball. Not super late, but, late enough. They're traveling to Kansas City. So it's going to be interesting to see how they end up doing in this spot because, hey, travel spot at night, on the road, usually not super favorable. So I'll say that's one mark off the Yankees for sure. But let's take a look. Let's take a look at where I like to start off, where the public's at, where the money's been at. In terms of where it opened up, minus 130. Yankees are, they've been killing on the money line, man. They're 8-10 out of their last 10 games. They took 2 L's against the Dodgers. And last night, man, they went against Glasnow. They avoided the sweep. So shout out to them, man. The Royals, however, they're back at home where it's been typically their best spot. They are absolutely one of the best home teams in the MLB, if not the best home team when it comes to just straight up winning and being profitable. I think the Royals are right now the most profitable MLB team. So Kansas City, they won 2 of their last 3 games at home against Seattle. We were just on last night against Seattle. We had Seattle money line plus 120. We're on this game, the Royals plus 110 against Seattle. So we've been killing this series with the Royals. The Royals have been, even I think 2 years ago or last year, one of my most profitable teams. And I think this is going to be a huge year for the Royals. I wouldn't be surprised if they go super far going into the playoffs or even getting to the World Series. They just got to maybe knock down or settle in a few things. Just really getting their bullpen better. And then, just establishing some better pitching. But they actually have some good pitching. Their bats, when it comes to being at home, and I'm going to talk about those stats very soon, they're just super hot, bro. When it comes to the hitting, man, they are probably the most dangerous team at home. But with that being all said, we do have to take a look at a few things, right? So the injuries, that's the biggest thing right now, I think, in my opinion, is Juan Soto going to play today? He's listed in some of the props. Not the best way to always determine if a guy is going to play or not, but he is listed as day-to-day left forearm inflammation. He was listed last night against the Dodgers as he could come off the bench. So I wouldn't be super surprised if he played. Obviously, him playing is huge, man. Him and Aaron Judge are the hottest, probably, if not the hottest duo in the MLB, probably along with like Gunnar Henderson and maybe even Bobby Witt Jr. here, Matt Vierling on the Detroit Tigers. There's so many guys that we could talk about, but particularly Juan Soto, that'd be huge, man, if he came back. It would be huge if he came back. On the Royal side, no one really big. They do have some pitchers. Michael Walker's pretty big that they lost him. Massey's a pretty good bat, and then a few of these other guys. It would be nice to have them all, but no one really major. So Royals looking fairly healthy. They just came off. They also just came off a extra innings game against the Seattle Mariners, and they almost beat us, bro. Fuck. If you watch that game, we were up 3-1, bottom of the ninth. They tied up at the bottom of the ninth. And then, I mean, luckily Seattle they got 3 more runs, and they almost tied it up. So, I mean, this Royals team, they're very, very tough to play at home. But let's take a look. I want to see. Let's go back to this last tab. Let's see. I want to see where the money's been at, where the public's been at. So if I zoom out a little bit so you guys can see it. Let's see. Or maybe I can just move my face. So if we look at these Yankees, I mean, look, all the money, all the bets look to be on the Yankees money line, spread as well, run line. Everyone's betting the over. I mean, I guess it makes sense. I do understand why people are betting this over, because we have to talk about the matchup. So right now, in terms of the pitching matchup, we have Seth Lugo against Carlos Rodon. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit so you guys can actually see. So Seth Lugo, 9-1 record, man. I mean, he only had pretty much one poor start, and that was against, let me see, pull it up on another screen. So if I take a look, we have Seth Lugo. He is a right-handed pitcher, and then I don't have to pull up the stats, but the Yankees, one of the best, if not the best, right-handed batting team, particularly at home, but even on the road, man, top in every single category, top 5, top 3. I mean, go take a look, OPS, WRC plus. I mean, this team, especially with Juan Soto possibly playing, even without him, super, super dangerous, man. From top to bottom, like this entire lineup can smack you up. So the last time Seth Lugo played where he actually got hit, and I think he's been due for regression. But let's take a look. I'm trying to open up another screen right here. Take a look. So the last time he had a bad outing, that was his last game. He went against the Guardians. He gave up 6 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned runs, 2 home runs, 5 strikeouts. But before that, he's had basically every single game has been a quality start. That was basically his first L, from what I'm looking at. Other than that, he only had a tough time against the Baltimore Orioles, and this was at home. This was at the end of April. He gave up 9 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned runs, only 1 strikeout. So the thing is, like, what do they have in common? I mean, he went against top tier hitting teams against right-handed right-handed pitchers. Baltimore and Cleveland are number 1 and 2 right now. Of course, he played them in different time periods, but nonetheless, I mean, the highest quality batting teams, and the Yankees are right behind them. So can this be repeated? Because when he did well, he went against the Twins, the Rays, the Oakland Athletics, the Angels. The Brewers are okay. Blue Jays are okay. So, I mean, not the best quality competition. He did only get touched up by the best teams, and the Yankees are definitely in that category. So we'll see how Lugo does in this spot. Yankees, however, they have Carlos Rodon, and I'm personally not the biggest Carlos Rodon fan. I mean, he's been getting, I think, very lucky, very, very lucky against every team he's been playing. I mean, there are many times I'm watching, I'm like, damn, how's he getting out of these jams, dude? Like, but hey, no matter what, he's been having 8-2 record, good strikeout numbers. I mean, he's been serviceable, bro. I mean, he's doing a lot better than I thought. Starting off the year, I thought the start of the year, I faded him many times and it bit me in the butt. But let's see how he'll do in this spot. So, I mean, I still think Carlos Rodon is due to regress in many factors, just because he has pretty bad expected numbers. But let's take a look, man. I mean, he's a much better home pitcher than away. Day and night split's not super bad. But the one thing that I will say is that he is not as good against right-handed bats, and he will be facing 8 right-handed bats. But nonetheless, he's still been doing fairly well. In terms of his game logs, I mean, he's had quality starts, but he hasn't had a really bad start besides when he faced the Orioles. And the Orioles, I mean, I said in many videos, they're, I mean, in my opinion, my favorite right now to maybe go all the way. I just think because they have such a balanced team, but they touched up Carlos Rodon, and that was when he was away from his home field. There's other away games he went against the Twins. They're okay against lefties, but I mean, I actually thought this game he would get touched up, but Twins kind of cooled down from their hot start. Other games he went against the Padres. Padres, terrible against lefties. The Angels, he gave up 3 earned runs, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, only 1 home run, 5 strikeouts. He got the win, but it wasn't because of him. It was just because his bats really saved him and backed him up. So, I mean, in this spot, though, the question is, how have the Royals been doing against left-handed bats? And, dude, the Royals are number 2, number 1 across many factors against left-handed pitching. And they haven't had a lot of pitching attempts though, only 85 pitching attempts in the past 2 weeks. But dude, when they're at home, this team is different. The Kansas City Royals are probably the hottest team when they're playing at home. So I honestly don't love this spot for Carlos Rodon. So that being said, man, I mean, where do we go in this game? I mean, it's a tough one for me. I'm not really sure if I want to play, a money line bet, a total. Like, I will also say this in terms of the bullpen usage. If I refresh, I mean, both teams' bullpens, they're pretty taxed, man. I mean, if I go look at some of these names, let's take a look. Let me see if I can share the screen actually. So if I look at the Royals, let's see. I wonder if they have it. I actually don't know if they have it here on this site. I don't think they do have it here. But let me see. Let me see if I could pull up another screen really quick, just so I can get you guys. So we look at the bullpen usage right here. Let's take a look at the Yankees right here. Yankees, I mean, they look pretty taxed up. I mean, Tonkin pitched 39 pitches. Clay Holmes, he pitched last night. Cannell and Hamilton didn't pitch. Maybe Hamilton might be available, but they all pitched 30 pitches. Weaver pitched last night. Ferguson, I mean, he pitched last night and on Friday, 28 pitches. So I mean, even if they use, I imagine they're gonna use some of these guys, but I mean, it's not like they're super fresh. And we go to the Royals side. I mean, the Royals are definitely used up, man. Strand's definitely not pitching. Klein, MacArthur probably not pitching. They could use like Schreiber maybe. Zerpa, he didn't pitch. So I mean, their bullpen is also not super fresh at all either. So I mean, the question to me really is, I mean, if this game goes late, who's gonna have the advantage in my opinion? And I don't know. I mean, I'll be perfectly honest. I think both bullpens are taxed. The starting pitchers, they are vulnerable to get hit up. I think both Rodon and Lugo could get touched up. So, I mean, I don't dislike an over for this game. 8.5, the public's all over it. But, I mean, the win conditions aren't the best right now. I think people are already assume. I mean, we'll see if Soto plays. I'm not, like, super in love with an over. I'm not really sure. The wind is blowing in. Decent, not super high humidity. The weather's at 78 degrees. So, I mean, it's good hitting conditions. Like in Kansas City, it's decently good hitting ballpark. But I'm gonna be honest, man, with the travel for the Yankees, playing Sunday night baseball, and also the fact that their bullpen is, pretty taxed. Rodon's not in his best spot. And man, like Lugo, he can do very well against this team, but like I said in the beginning, he hasn't done too well against these really, really good right-handed batting teams. I'm kind of lean. I think there's a lot of value. Let me see if I could pull up. Hold on. Let me see if I could pull up the other screen. I mean, where is it? Pull up the other screen. Let me reduce my image real quick. I think there's some value, man. I think like the side to be on, honestly, it has to be, I think, for me, KC money line plus 110. I mean, I think you gain tremendous value just because it's the Yankees. They're super hot right now. I mean, Kansas City just lost their last game. I mean, I think there's a lot of value with KC on the money line. Of course, I'm a little scared with their bullpen, how used up they kind of have been. There are also other ways you could probably play. You could probably maybe do a first 5 money line maybe, but then you also run the risk that like maybe your play never even plays out. You might push. If you do the run line, I think it's too juice to see run line, KC run line plus a half. It's not too bad, minus 135. So you tie in the event you tie, you will win still. But I do think like if you want it to be on the side, I think KC money line or KC is the side to be on. But given the things I just said, right? So I do think because both pitchers are good, Rodon and Lugo have been fairly strong, which is why I don't want to like particularly touch the game total because I could see either or guy maybe doing okay. It's the bullpens, man. KC can definitely get to this Yankees bullpen who looks pretty taxed, especially after playing that big Los Angeles Dodgers series. Going on the road, I mean, KC's at home. I honestly think the best way maybe to play, if you're a little scared, like me, I'm a little scared maybe how Seth Lugo could fare against these Yankees. And I don't have to particularly worry too much about the Yankees and their bats because, I mean, they could wake up in any inning. Is to look at the team props. I think the Royals, we could probably get a decent line. Yeah, we could get over 3.5 runs at -120. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me see if I could move this around. Hold on. I got to reduce my screen. You get -3.5 right here, -120 on the money line. I think that's maybe a better way to possibly play this play because you're going to get the ability to back those Royals bats. And also, you know, they have a good matchup against Rodon, man. Top team against left-handed pitchers. Rodon's best spot is not on the road, and he's going to be going against one of his toughest tests. And I think just like the Yankees, Royals bats have a good chance. I mean, do you want to bet the Yankees team total? I mean, it's also another way you could play for sure. I do think Lugo has been a much better pitcher than Rodon so far this season. But I do think, like, just because I'm a little scared that maybe the bat's a little bit tired with this travel spot at night after playing Sunday night baseball. Typically, it's been a good spot to fade those type of teams. So for the game pick, man, I think for me, it's either Kansas City money line, you get at +110, or you could maybe even take, you want to lay a little bit of juice, do the Royals team total over 3.5 -120. But yeah, those are my game picks for the game, man. If you reached this far, man, thank you so much for tapping in. Hopefully it's been helpful. If you have any questions and you want to tap into premium, just shoot me a DM. Let's get it rocking and rolling, baby.